my name is Danielle Bichard, and I am part of the teaching team from the virtual learning program from grades 1 to 9.
And I am Shauna Blanchard, and I am also part of the teaching team of virtual learning and grades 1 to 9 at Connections for Learning.
So the virtual learning program exists. The Connections for Learning prioritizes creating new ways to meet learners where they are at. We recognize that families are interested in different learning environments. We value being student-centered, authentic, and engaging. We aim to provide flexibility through semi-synchronous as well as asynchronous learning. To touch on a few examples, we do have many students that come to our program that are either living in different countries or traveling around the world. For example, we've got one family who's been sailing across Fiji for the last 2 years. We also have students that do require a more unique learning schedule because they are very committed in other programs outside of school, whether they're competitive athletes or they just have different extended vacations with their families that they're interested in taking.
In grades 1 to 4, the students have several meets per week. The number of meets they might have and the duration of those meets will depend on the grade level as well as the needs of that class specifically. So at the early years level, we do have a focus on literacy and numeracy. So they might spend a lot of more time working on things like letter sounds and consonant blends and digraphs and really building those foundational skills for early numeracy skills. There's also opportunities for students to participate in addition to their whole class instruction, also small group instruction where they do focus on more intimate and literacy and numeracy based intervention groups. So the early years requires a significant amount of parental support. As students become more familiar with navigating their technology, they may require less support with logging onto daily meets. Throughout the year, students will require assistance with assignment completion and submission. It will be essential for parents to build a routine into their day at home, similar to routine building in a traditional classroom. As you can see on the slide, this is what the students will see when they log into their Schoology course. So they'll be able to see a small picture which is where their dashboard is that shows all of their courses. So you can see that they have their science and their social studies, all of their core subject areas, as well as their non-core subject areas. And all of their courses are aligned with provincial curriculum standards. All students have access to their grade level learning hub. In their hub, they can find their weekly schedule, as well as any school resources and frequently used virtual resources. So this is their go-to landing page when they log into their Schoology classroom. Students also have ample opportunity in choice-based learning activities inspired through exploring interests and passions. So as you can see in this example, this is a February physical education and wellness menu that students can choose different activities to participate and engage in. There's also an art choice board that they can choose and pick activities that cater to the strengths and the passions of the individuality of the student.
So a quick view at the week in the life of a grade 5 to 9 student in the virtual learning program. We have two main streams of students. We have a semi-synchronous option as well as asynchronous. Semi-synchronous students in grades 5 to 9 meet 3 to 5 times a week with their classes. Google Meets serve to ensure that students are on track with their virtual learning, foster small group targeted support, facilitate class discussions, provide direct instruction, and offer students the opportunity for connection. All students also have the choice to request extra support meets outside of these class meetings. So this goes for both asynchronous and semi-synchronous students. This model allows for students to have the flexibility in their school day and to work at their own pace. Students who are highly motivated and are able to work independently have been successful in our program. So students that have independent work ethics, as well as students that have strong self-advocacy skills, they also begin to develop these skills even further while being enrolled in the virtual program. The virtual team is comprised of a collaborative group of teachers. Teachers have been working together to create a virtual program designed for semi-synchronous as well as asynchronous learners. Similarly to the younger years, grades 5 to 9 have a course dashboard set up in the learning management program called Schoology, which is our main dashboard that we use for the virtual learning program. We do have a learning hub for each grade level. So the view on your right is a snapshot of a current grade 9 student. So they would have access to the grade 9 hub, which includes having access to a weekly schedule, which we will see later. All of the other core subject areas, along with the non-core courses, are quick access through their course dashboard. So through the Grade Learning Hub, students have access to weekly schedules as well as archived schedules where they can follow along with a planned out pace for each of their subject areas. There are also programs laid out in each of the courses for specific units that will pace students through on a day-by-day basis. Videos and interactive activities are embedded throughout the lessons in our program, as are opportunities for hands-on learning, such as science labs. So in this one here is an example of a chemical reaction lab with the grade 9 group. Students often have either hands-on materials at home that are just store-bought materials, and we also utilize virtual simulation labs as well to ensure that they're getting the full experience. Students also have ample opportunity in choice-based learning activities inspired through exploring interests and passions. So this slide here has a few examples of different career and technology foundation projects that students are able to engage in. So students are able to pursue their passions and interests while also beginning to make connections to potential and future career routes.
What are the costs associated with virtual learning? Essentially, there are none. We just require that you have reliable internet and a computer. A noise-canceling headset and a device with a keyboard and mouse are strongly recommended. These tools will provide a quiet learning environment for students who do choose to participate in those Google Meets and when they're trying to meet one-on-one with a teacher. Tablets do not offer the same functionality as a laptop or Chromebook device. There may be limitations to using these devices and cannot be guaranteed in terms of reliability and accessibility of student learning materials. So for that reason, we do recommend that they have a laptop, Chromebook, or desktop computer for virtual learning.
So in the virtual learning program, there are some academic considerations when looking into this program of choice. Virtual learning offers all core and non-core subjects at every level, grades 1 to 9. Lessons and activities are delivered through Schoology Online, which enables students to work at their own pace and have flexibility in completing coursework at a time that works best for them. Students are expected to connect with teachers through Google Meets, Gmail, and/or by phone. Teachers provide students with feedback and guide them on their learning journey. For those who would like more structure in their day, a suggested learning schedule is provided to all students. Students experience success in the virtual learning program when they keep up with their assigned coursework. Oftentimes, students that have an independent learning style or that prefer to have that independent learning environment tend to have a seamless transition into the virtual learning program. We consider parents to be partners in delivering our curriculum and rely on parent support at home to make sure students receive the information and provide evidence for their learning back to us. We have office hours set up to ensure that we are able to be responsive to students and parent needs. But we also need families to reach out to us if they're needing any support. So maintaining communication with teachers is very imperative during the virtual learning school year. Students are afforded a variety of learning opportunities. Students will build digital literacy skills at a far faster pace than their peers learning in a traditional classroom.
As a virtual learning team, we work together with families to decide what path they decide to choose that works best for their family's needs and for the needs of the students. So as mentioned, we do offer semi-synchronous programming as well as asynchronous programming. Semi-synchronous programming is going to be set up where students come to Google Meets on a regular basis. It really allows for that community building and relationships between the student and the teacher. During those Google Meets, there are opportunities for discussions, conversations, questions, clarification, in addition to just engaging learning activities that might take place during those Google Meets. We can foster collaboration among students by having them interact with one another. That doesn't necessarily happen in an asynchronous type of learning program. We can provide feedback one-on-one with students in the Google Meets and personalize instruction and provide that direct instruction for students during those Google Meet times. Additionally, we do offer asynchronous learning for our students. And as a team, we have worked with parents and families to decide what of these programs works best for them. Some students work better asynchronously and some students work better semi-synchronously. So asynchronous students are really going to take a back seat to the Google Meets and going to do most of their learning primarily from home without that direct instruction from the teacher in the Google Meet. So during the asynchronous learning, it is imperative that they are going through all of the learning materials, which might require support from parents to make sure that they are going through all of the stuff that they need to engage in their online learning. But for some students, they have been really successful in completing an asynchronous program. It's really a team discussion as to what type of programming is best for your child and your family's needs. So as a team, we can discuss what will work best for you and your family.
Moreover, with the asynchronous learning pathway that students are enrolled in, it is always very important, and students often have the most success when they do maintain consistent communication with their teachers to ensure they are on the right track with their learning.
As well, we do have lots of opportunity for in-person connections. These are just some examples that we've done this year with some of our students. So doing a meet and greet with your teachers. Oftentimes we'll do this at a park when it's nice in the springtime or in the fall, just getting together, saying hi, and sometimes we'll usually plan some activities. So we've done a goose chase community scavenger hunt where the kids have different activities that they can go look for in the park, and they get points or prizes, and they really seem to have a really good time coming and engaging with their teachers and their classmates, even though they don't get to see them on a daily basis in person. We've also done an in-person skating event at an outdoor rink this year, and we're constantly engaging with parents and asking what more in-person opportunities that they are interested in and what those might look like. So as a team and in collaboration with our parents, we're constantly brainstorming new ideas and things that we can do to get the kids out and just give them more opportunities. We also have a variety of virtual field trips that the students have participated in this year, which included an artist in residency where they come and they're kind of guided through an art project. We've had Marty Chan come in, who is an author who is local in Alberta, to do a talk with the students. Recently, the students have done Mountain Parks Peak Discovery, which is a virtual field trip, but was specifically to do with Banff, and lots of science and social studies outcomes that were hit with that one with our grade 5s and 6s. We've had different art classes and a variety of guest speakers come in to talk to students about a variety of learning topics that they are learning about. Lastly, registration occurs with Connections for Learning administrators. For more information, please check out our Connections for Learning website for details and contact information.
Parkland School Division, where the world opens back up.